This video is brought to you by TS4U IT Engineering Bootcamp.
Hi, Ashraf, can you hear me?
Yeah, clearly. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. So this is Shiblu Ahamed. I have received your resume from our recruiters, and I have been given some notes that I have to take an interview for 30 minutes. So let
Sure.
me actually the lay out our interview process. We have a 3 round of interviews. This is the one round. Based on the outcome, I will be providing the feedback for the second round of interviews. That's actually the Zoom and some demonstration, and the third round will be behavior. So
Sure.
one round is depending on the another round, and this is actually the contract to hire role. This is a project started just recently. This project is 12 months, but the project can go longer. And we have this client for at least the last 6 years, and I have been working with this client last 3.5 years. There is the good amount of the growth is happening, and the team is doing very well in the end clients. We have the overall 75 the team member, and our team is helping each other. So we want to bring you on board, and we want to actually we want to see you become successful and contribute your skills and expertise at the same time you grow professionally. That's our goal. You'll be learning all the details about our hiring process as we continue, as well as all the benefits. So please reach out to your recruiter, and then you will know more details. So do you have any questions before we?
Not at this point. If I have any questions throughout the interview, I'll ask you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
hope you're not nervous. Okay, let's get it started. So this position is the hybrid, and also the initially we'll be doing a lot of manual testing, but we are actually hiring the test automation engineer because it will be required for the backend automation as well as the front end automation as well. And I think the client is thinking to build the mobile app as well. So mobile manual testing is required. At the same time, there is some APM, the mobile automation will be required. But for now, not the focus. The focus is for the project work and the test automation, especially for the backend. So that's as for the notes I have from the hiring manager. So after this interview, we will be sending you documents to the hiring team with the manager, and they have multiple people, and they conduct the 1-hour interview. All right.
Sure.
So I have been looking your resume. Quite impressive. Everything looks very familiar. What this client is been doing, and I think you will be doing some areas very good job. So why not talk about yourself? What do you do? What is the day-to-day job?
So thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. So from what I understand, it's gonna be a 30-minute interview. So I'll try to keep my answer short and simple. And if you want to know anything further, feel free to ask me anytime. So I've been doing quality software automations for quite a long time. I'll talk about the last project I've worked on with you, so you understand that I have skills on automations and manual testings. So for my last project, what I did was I followed the Agile methodology, and where we followed our 2-week sprints most of the time. And after the sprint planning, we started our project. And as of daily, we had our sync up calls, and we would start our day with the sync up calls. And for sync up calls, we could do videos, or if it's convenient for anybody to do it on the chat, whatever was convenient, we did. And so after the sync up call, we'd start working on whatever the tickets we have or responsibilities, or the plan, whatever we plan for the day, we start working on them. And so when I say working, we did our automations. If I had to do any manual testing, I did the manual testing. And if I had to do any automation, I worked on the automations. And for automations, I know a couple languages, but for my last project and in my last job, I used Java. So my knowledge on Java is really fresh right now, and I am consider myself an expert on Java right now. And for in the Java, we did our Maven projects, and we used our Selenium. We used many libraries, but for the I used many libraries, and for the last project, I used the Selenium library, and uh, and we did our testing. We also did test-ng testings and stuff. And after I was done writing the manual testings and stuff, we uploaded them to our CI/CD pipelines, which is our GitHub. And from GitHub, we ran the automations on Jenkins most of the time on Jenkins. And for manual testing, I used Postman. And to get the APIs on Postman, we always used Swagger. And from the Swagger, after getting the APIs from the Swagger, we ran our automations on Postman, and we also used GitHub and Jenkins to run our Postman automations. And I can go further about what we did on the Postman and what kind of expectation and expected negative, positive test cases we have done on our manual testing. We also did.
I have a quick follow-up question. What
Sure.
project worked? Did you work on a specific feature?
Yeah, we had different teams for working on different features and stuff. It was another add-on to our websites where I was working on the login features on the recently. I was working on the login feature on that one.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So, like I said, I can explain you further about all the expectation and expected and positive, negative cases I have worked on, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Sorry.
Can you tell me like what is the API testing, backend testing approach, and what have you done? If you just can give me the entire rundown, very high level, that will be great.
Sure. So we did a lot of white box and black box testing. So I understand you asking about our white box testing, what kind of APIs we did. So we worked on our login features, and we tried to make it as much user friendly as possible. We had the sign in with Google feature on that, and we had our sign in with other Facebook and this and that feature included in our login uh, in the login feature. So we try to do as many automation as possible where we could see if it was running smoothly and if the UI and everything was working, and back and the backend testing. And for the
So are you referring the user service? You are saying the login feature. Is it in our application, this client, they have the feature is the user management. They call it authentication authorization for the user management.
yes, it was I'm talking about the features I've worked on the user side of the portal.
Understood. Okay.
Yes. So yeah, we did many testings, everything, and throughout the testing, if we had find any bugs and stuff, we reported those bugs. And the bug life cycles is basically, if we came across any of the bugs, we had to report it and make a report a bug file. So if it was a minor bugs or anything, we would always we have a Slack chat room where we are connected with the developers. If it's a smaller bugs, we talk to them directly, and if it was not something of a bigger priority, they would just take care of it regularly, and I would run the test again and see if it's fixed. And if it was something some sort of a
follow-up question, can you mention some of the minor bug you found from your application?
Well, the really minor bugs are most of the time the UI bugs that we see if there is anything wrong in the user interface.
Mention some of them?
Yeah, sure. So one of them is like the login button, right? I was saying I was working on it. So the login button was slightly misplaced, and sometime after clicking the login button, the loading would not appear, which was which was on the user story to
Can
show up.
Can you mention some of the high priority bug you found?
Well, the high priority bugs that we found was that when you were putting the high priority bugs were when users were selecting their password. There was not a recommendation for putting the high-end passwords. It was like just the basics, put a capital and the smaller letters and stuff. So this, and I'm sorry, you have a question?
No, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so these are the high priority bugs were found, and it was reported, even though it was on the user story, it was not put in there. So these are the bugs we have found, and the user were not asked to put.
Thank you. I have a quick question. So, what type of white box testing have you done?
Okay, so for white box testing, on my last project, give me a second. Let me think about a good example for you.
Sure, sure.
What kind of white box testing? So we did many white box testing, and one of them were when we did our one of them were, I'm sorry, I can't think of any examples right now, but throughout the interview, if I can remember a good one, I'll get back to you about it.
Sure, definitely. Okay. So what is black box testing actually?
So black box testing is when engineers test the interface of the website where you don't have to interact with the code and everything. We just do the user interface, or the GUI testing, you can say in simple, right? Where you don't have to deal with the code or anything. You input values and see if it outputs the results. This is also black box testing. So for a good example would be, you want to see if you can log into the website. So you just go put the website and password and press login, and if you see if it works, logs in. So if you just want to use test the user interface of the website and stuff, then you can call it a black box testing if like everything placed on the right place and the buttons are working and all that.
Thank you. I think I do not have any other questions. What questions do you have for me?
Well, as you said, as you explained really well about the interview process and everything, and so I understand that it's gonna be a couple interviews if I make it through this interview. And I wanted to know, what is it like? Are you a developer there, or are you just the HR that you
Yeah, the
mentioned?
good question. I'm actually the senior quality assurance engineer.
Oh, so you're quality engineer. Sorry. I don't have you ready, but
Do you have any other question?
I had a couple of questions about the
Okay.
recruiting process and stuff, but I talked to the recruiter about it, and then she explained everything really well.
Okay.
So I think I'm good on that. I don't have any questions right now, but I'll email you if I can think about anything.
Thank you very much. I think we enjoyed a good conversation. We'll be actually I have taken some note, and I will be actually the writing the we have a process writing the professional the summary of the outcome, and then we'll be actually submitting to our internal the update that your job that you have applied, and the recruiter will be reaching out to you, and in a couple of days. Normally it takes the 40 hours to get the update. That you can reach out Monday, or if you do not hear from the recruiter. Oh, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your time too.
All right, so let's go see the sprint most of the time. That's a very like the wrong answer. We follow
Yeah,
that
it's 2 weeks, but yeah,
most of the time. That's then I am actually interviewing you, not we. So then you're
yeah.
the I, and you cannot talk. You actually you never listen to my tell me about yourself. So you tell me about yourself is completely out of the like a loop, and you're talking about the login feature, the project you work. That's not the mention, and that is nowhere it is the from the tell me about yourself. And when you say the minor bug, you did not, you again go back to the login. A major bug, you again go back to the login. That is the big concern. The white box, you flat truth, you do not do the white box testing. It's a complete
Yeah, I couldn't think about any of the
right.
white box testing.
We do the black box testing. All type
Yeah,
of testing, positive, negative, regression, the
right,
exploratory, and the boundary testing, they all fall the black box testing.
right,
We debate about the gray box. It is between the API testing.
right.
Even
So, what's a good example of white box testing though?
don't do this. It
Oh,
is
you can just say I don't do it.
I'm giving you example. Developer wrote the code to like a user logout. They're writing the code again to test his code. Again,
Okay,
unit testing is the white box testing. Means he wrote the business logic for a user story, and he wrote the code again to test his code. So that's the
Is it unit testing? Oh no, okay.
Second is the test code. That second is called the unit test code, and that's we label as a white box testing. QA does not do this. And white box testing, many projects they don't do this, but it's very powerful. That's the where the immediately bug can be found. But because you're writing the code, it is time consuming, and the developer even doesn't do in many companies.
Okay.
Everybody does if it is the API driven platform, API testing is the main focus. And then of course the integration, the functional, negative, positive, regression, and all kind of good stuff. So yes, please tell me about the self we have given. This is very important, and you need to know the e-commerce application. Please, you should do the API, the 500 test cases. I will highly recommend. Then your mouth will be flying. But is this one?
So like so far we just worked on the the login features and this. I
did not stop that you cannot do. We did not remove we did not remove the platform down, right? That's the reason. If you sit down, the amount of skill you have,
I did some of them on the thing, the Agile. I did those ones too.
You have to be consistent in one feature. Okay, product feature again. All about the application. And I think on those kind of things, the Zahara, they found a lot of bugs. Even that just recently, like the last week, bug, if you join, I actually talk about that. Tell me some of the minor bugs. Instead of giving the definition, hey, like the button is issues, the text is missing, or the text is like a duplicating text. It's spelling issues.
Right.
We showed you. We actually literally showed you, and then we actually created the bug and actually provide the detail. And the high priority bug we showed you example as well. We showed the backend bug as well.
Yeah.
So if you just the question you have, so the question you have like the difference between severity priority. I will just take them through the example. Let me tell you some of the minor bug, and I put the low severity, low priority. Let me tell you some of the high priority bug from the bug I found, and that's a high priority and the high severity. You are not answering his question, you are taking them through the journey, and you can only talk about the journey when you did it. Even if you do 10, and you can take this 10 as your journey. If you create the 5 bug or 6 bug, you take this 5 bug as your example. If you design the feature, right? The API test cases feature in the Postman, you take them as this journey. So even if you do big, then it will be natural. If you do small, even small, for the sake of interview, you have to say it properly. Will do, and then this other one. So I did not add I did not ask the what is test case, because I'm positive will be giving me the book version. Right?
No, I don't have any notes or anything, so should have just write some notes and stuff,
Yes, so it's a preparation. That's the reason we give those interview questions. It's very important because you'll do very good job. And so my last project was actually the e-commerce application. This is actually the single owner, the platform, and that there is a buyer portal where buyer, after the sign up to the buyer does everything. And there is a website, that's where all the product is actually listed. Product, recommendation, product quality, the number of product, number of quantity, number of quality, who is giving the feedback. This is all the web. This web is controlled from the seller portal. In the seller portal, there is can see how many number of buyer who buy the product, who actually buy which product is under the shipping, which product is the return, and the product quality, create a new product, add the new number of product. These are actually the functionality of the seller. Now let's go back how it works. Actually, we follow the Agile Scrum. We have a 2 weeks sprint, and then actually I work the multiple features. User management, product management, recommendation, and then the return. There are so many features on the Swagger.
Right.
I can talk, and I gave this already. I gave this, tell me about it multiple of time.
Right.
I can talk, whatever I taught you, I can talk 10 minutes in a row. Even my Swagger in front of me, it's my story. Let me tell you what I did, how I did we used the Postman as a selection. I created them by feature, a collection. then the positive, the user login, and the negative, the positive, negative, and then the user can buy a product. You can add to a cart. Then the user actually update the profile. User can actually add a multiple, the shipping address. You can update their all this API driven. I have actually created the what it is called the design the whole API in a way it is very organized. I can actually manually execute anytime I want. That based on this design, actually create the automation. Well, that's how we teach you guys exactly in the workshop. I did not say a single word outside of the workshop. We use the Swagger for the API specification. That's all the API is. Actually, we can understand as the question. That's it. The way it has been taught, the same way you will tell the story.
Yeah, but yeah, I did write down notes and stuff for the tell me about yourself.
Login.
I just couldn't go
Never mention the login feature. That is enough to shut down the interview.
Right.
Login is required. It's like the entry criteria. Other the features will not work until the login. But how you work on the login feature, and login is not the feature. Login is a functionality. It's
Yeah,
a
functionality.
management, authentication, authorization. Most of the companies, they will say user management, authentication, and authorization.
Mm-hmm.
Makes
Yeah.
sense? Good. What do you think, the Farida?
Yes.
The great news, he did it immediately. I did not push him like the 3 months like I'm pushing Farida and Zahara. So bring the food for him. Make food and go give him the food. Because it did good.
Yeah, I'll do some more of those mock interviews.
Listen to her. She did the listen to her. Tell me about the she did. I approve
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So cover that. And again, all about your journey. What you did, tell them. Don't worry about anything else.
Right.
Anything else, give the reference. Give the reference. Give the reference. Give the reference. That's the way you will be a bit talkative. You don't care what he says. That's the interview expectation.
Right.
Good. Zahra.
Yes, sir, Shiblu. I'm driving, coming to the office.
Thank you. I will see you
The
soon.
recording is still on, just to let you know.
What happened?
Your recording is still on.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's a conversation.
Oh,
We're good.
okay.